Yo, this is Rice, one half of Str8 Bangaz.
The boy Rocky repping that straight bang.
And you tuned in to No Ideas Original Podcast.
Yeah.
I think he got traded while I got faded. Far as rap go, I'm top rated. So start.
Yes. Welcome everybody to episode number 11 of No Ideas Original, featuring Shalon and the good brother, Mr. Rob. What's up, Rob?
What's going on, King? How's everything with you, bro?
Blessed, man. Blessed. Yo, we got a special one today. Today we're joined by my peoples, Rice and Rachi, the Str8 Bangaz. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Yo, what up? Shalom, Master Rob.
What's good, man?
What's good with y'all, brothers? Rice, how you, son?
You on mute, Rice?
Get out of here.
Mute yourself, brother.
Mute yourself, brother.
I'm here.
Get it together over there.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Good to see you guys, man.
This is a special occasion because we're going to have our first virtual album listening party. So everybody that's in attendance and others that will be joining will have the opportunity to hear cuts off the 20 for 20 album that comes out June 1st.
Yo.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's what's up.
So before we actually get into the songs off the album, we thought that we asked you guys a couple of questions just from a producer standpoint. So just want to start out by asking y'all, what made you get into production and when did you get into production?
I'll let Rice start off with that one.
I mean, I say like early 90s, I would say. About early 90s. Basically, I think it was a collection of things. My brother, he was in some music before, so
right.
He was definitely doing some things, messing with P Rock at the time, and just listening to some of the stuff that they would come back with. It definitely inspired me.
Shout out to Bugs.
Definitely. And me and Pat, we've been friends for so long. We kind of like did a lot together, not just working on music, but just like working in general, working at odd jobs. So, I mean, for the most part, I think it was from that initial stuff that my brother was doing, kind of like lit that spark. And we kind of like started from there with like a little, I can't remember, it was like a little Tascam sampler.
Yeah.
If I can remember, it was like a Tascam little sampler, one button sampler that probably sampled for a certain amount of time. And we started from there. I remember that was the beginning of it,
Right.
The funny thing about that sampler is that we went all the way, I think, to like Brooklyn one time because I had gotten my brother to drive us thinking that, we were going to get all this equipment, all this beat making equipment. And I think we went all the way to Brooklyn looking for this sampler, and we ended up buying, I don't know if it was Tascam or whatever it was, but he's right. It was literally just a one button sampler. And at the time, we didn't know anything about making beats at all. Like there was no blueprint. You know what I mean? There was no YouTube that showed you, listen, this is how you put a beat together. This is how you sing. It was none of that. It was literally me and Rice in my crib with this box looking at it like how do we figure it out? And there was no one call up and be like, listen, can you come and show me how to use this or something like that? It was literally nothing at all. It was just me, him, the owner's manual. And since he doesn't read the owner's manuals, I was the one kind of reading the owner's manual, trying to figure out like how you make it work. And we made it work.
That's what's up, man. Let me ask you this, man. When did the both, any one of you guys can answer this, when did you know you had something special? And what I mean by that is that most people start and stop. But what was it that defining moment that said, you know what, we're going to keep doing this, man. I think we got something here. When was that? Do you have a moment?
For me, I would say it probably was when we started messing with Young Lord. So Young Lord, for those who don't know, was one of Bad Boy producers back when Puff
What they call him, the Hitman?
So he was one of the hitmen. And then when me and Rice had started making beats, I think we only had been making beats for a few years before we stumbled into Young Lord. Like a mutual friend of ours worked at a bank and used to see Young Lord coming in there all the time and depositing these checks. And the checks used to have, Bad Boy stamps on them.
Ain't he from the Bronx?
From the Bronx.
Right.
The Bronx. So
right.
Young Lord said to the dude, like, yeah, I work for, Bad Boy, this, that, and the third. And this dude happened to say, oh, I know some dudes that make beats. Now, I got to be honest. At the time when we were linked up to Young Lord, we weren't ready. Like, from a production point of view, we definitely weren't ready. But, he called us up. We linked up with him, and we played him what we had. You know what I mean? And looking back in hindsight, definitely what we played for him at that point, we definitely wasn't ready. And Young Lord recognized that, and he kind of just took us under his wing. For a good year and some change, where he was just showing us things. Like, that was the first person that I could say was showing us things like this is how the drum system now. So for me, I think being with Young Lord and him taking me to the studio and watching like Pun songs get mixed and Fat Joe songs get mixed, I think at that point, I felt like I think we got something here, because if we didn't, then he wouldn't want to fuck with us. So they gotta he gotta see something in us for him to want to fuck with us like that. So for me, I don't know what Rice thinks, but for me, I think that was the first time where I was like, I think we actually got something here. I think we could do something.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole thing with Young Lord was definitely a pivotal point with us, because the actual time that Young Lord did come over to listen to the beats, it was on Thanksgiving Day. That's the funny part about it. It was on a Thanksgiving Day, on a holiday. He actually came over to my house and listened to the beats, and he had no emotion. He was stone cold, and just like Pat said, we wasn't ready. Those beats was trash. Those beats was trash. But he was stone cold. I played him the beats, and he didn't give me no emotion. All he did was say, he gave me a number, and he said, call me this day. And then when I called him, he said, meet me at this studio, and it was Axe's studio. And the song he was mixing that day was Caribbean Connection, Big Pun and Wyclef.
Yeah. Classic.
So I was actually in, we was there in the studio while he was mixing that record.
Yeah,
nice,
salute to Young Lord for giving y'all a shot. At least he had the crabs in the barrel mentality.
Yeah,
let me ask you. You mentioned Young Lord. What are some of the other artists that you may have worked with, or other producers you work with?
Producers, well, like Rice got a better memory than I do, but I would say from a producer standpoint, Ty Fife. Those who don't know Ty Fife, he produced joints for 50 Cent, Foxy Brown, Murder. Some big records. So we Heat Makers, obviously. He actually was fucking with Heat Makers before they were Heat Makers. You know what I'm saying? So
they from uptown too, right?
Definitely.
Heat kind of called us in before they were Heat Makers, like I said, and the equipment was hooked up the wrong way. So they called us in like, man, I can't figure out my drum machine, this, that, and the third. So we was kind of the OG to them at the time to say, and I was like, all right, I come over there, hook your shit up for you. And I pretty much went over to their crib, hooked up their drum machine and everything. Like, yeah, you got your MIDI cord hooked up all wrong, homeboy. You know what I'm saying? And then, so yeah, before they even got on, we was fucking with Heat Makers, Ty Fife. There was Young
Mahogany.
Made a couple of big records for Rough Riders.
Yeah.
Who else? Producer wise, Rice. I don't remember else. Who else?
I think producer wise, that was about it. But artist wise, everybody from Chub Rock to Nori,
Littles, Kwame, you got
everybody like
Consequence.
Kel-Rel,
right.
Vegas, Royal Flush.
Yeah, you got your feet wet. Y'all been all over, son.
We've been around the block.
A lot of people don't know that. You know what I'm saying, Rob? A lot of people don't know, like, and it's funny to me and Rice, especially in the underground world. Because in the underground world, you know what I'm saying, before me and Rice actually put our feet, 2 feet in and really went in hard with the underground world, it's like he was looking at us like, oh, Str8 Bangaz, they some up and coming producers. It's like, nah, nigga,
we've been here for a minute.
We've been here.
Right.
I'm 40 years old, dogs. I started making beats, I think, at 15. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't just been here, and we've been kind of like,
you know what I'm saying? We got a check. We know what it is to get a check for making a beat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It wasn't that much. The check wasn't that much. I checked from record companies that said, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely got checks, dime, and you know what I'm saying? We
definitely the records, and we've been around.
Yeah, we've been around for a minute. It's just that we weren't really fucking with the I would say when everything went to the whole social media thing and the Instagram and all that shit, we was kind of very resistant to that. Because old school, we old school hip hop heads. We's like, nah, we got to be in the studio with you. You know what I mean? Like, so
right. See, yeah.
The underground world, it was like niggas was looking at us like we knew on the scene. And like, and we kind of just had to just run through that and let niggas know, what we bring into the table, which we've been doing for over 20 years now.
And you put me on, because you really put me on. Because in my mind, I'm old school too. I'm thinking you still going in the studio. You told me, nah, niggas just sending emails. That's it.
Right. Which is what I'm crazy.
That organic sound, it's gone, son. And let me ask you this question. Where do you think music has gone sonically? You know what I'm saying? In the past couple of years to where it used to be when it was more melodic and very rhythm heavy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what? And for me, speaking from me personally, as someone that does play instruments, you know what I'm saying? Sonically, I gotta appreciate where music is went sonically. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and bash like the new dudes that's out here making their beats. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and bash them. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a different lane, and it may not be for everybody. And some of it that I hear, I'm not really for it. It's not.
It's all artistry, man. So
it's all artistry, and it's all different forms of artistry. So I'm not gonna sit here and knock that. There are certain things about it that I will not. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's definitely a artistry or beauty in simplicity. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So I think we got to give it up for that. But that's for the niggas that's actually out here making beats. I can't sit here and talk about the niggas that I feel like is not making beats, because now in this day and age,
you got piece, huh?
Equipment. You got software and applications and computers out here that pretty much do everything for you. You know what I mean?
Well, that's
what you need to do.
That's a good way to segue. Let me ask you this, right? So because you're purists, you've been producing for a long time, so you guys have seen the evolution of production, right? It went from once upon a time you go into this huge studio and you work in this huge studio. Then it went into the home studio. Then it went from home studio to all you need is your laptop. Then it went from a laptop even to you can make beats on a video game. Now you guys even did an album on your cell phone, a beat album on your cell phone. So how do you feel about the evolution of production in terms of even putting beats together?
I mean, in a sense of that, I really don't. To me, it really doesn't matter how you put the beat together. You just got to be at least putting the beats together. Just like this, just the sentiment, like Pat was saying. A lot of these softwares are kind of helping them, guiding them, correcting notes when they're off, things like that.
Serato. Sorry.
Exactly.
Right.
And to me, I think you need to actually be hands-on when you're making a beat. You have to be hands-on. If you're not hands-on and things are kind of like moving into place for you, I don't think that's beat making at all. I don't think that's actually producing at all. There is an art to beat making. You know what I'm saying? There's an art to. I can't teach somebody what I do. I can't. Right. Somebody might ask me and say, what made you hear that sample that way? Or what made you chop it like that? I don't know. That's just the way my ear hears it, and the way that my creation of what I came up with while I was touching this MPC 2000 or whichever MPC I'm using at that particular moment of time, whatever software you're using. But some of these people are just throwing something in a little software or a program, and then a beat is being created. And I'm like, I don't know how the beat actually just got created like that.
And that's the
like
shit.
Magic.
That's the shit that drives me crazy personally.
Yeah,
that's the shit that drives me crazy, where it's like, I agree with Rice. I don't give a fuck what you use, because there's so many different pieces of equipment out there. If you could rock on that shit, there's niggas out here still using SP12s with a 950 sampler and rocking. You know what I mean? And those who know what
with a disc,
and know how to rock it,
and zip drives and all type of shit, and that's what's up. But you actually making the fucking beat. You know what I'm saying? You have dudes out here who are not making the beat. Literally, the software is doing everything for you. You know what I'm saying? And I don't agree with that, because it doesn't feel organic to me. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you a follow-up. Let me ask you a follow-up to that really quick. Like, think about in the 90s, there were a lot of famous people who got production credits that we know they ain't never touched Machine the First. So what do you say about that for people they get production credits, they producers, they never touch it? And I'm not talking about ghost production. I'm talking about, when you look at the name, you be like, yo, this dude played the drums on this, and he did this, and he did that. Straight up and down, somebody who we know they ain't playing no instruments, doing no sampling or anything, and it just all came from a thought that they had, like, yo, they're going to take that sample, flip it, and do this and do that. Is that production?
That's different, though. See what you said? You said it came from a thought that they had in their head. So you could think about Quincy Jones, right? Quincy Jones comes out and said, you know what I'm saying? But since he knows all the different parts of what he wants to hear, he can tell you, listen, you play that in the note in the key of C.
It's a curator.
A, that's different. As opposed to somebody like Puff, right? Coming in and don't have anything musically, you know what I'm saying? Just saying, yeah, I don't even know how to use this machine, but I want to hear like a little tambourine or something like that right in that point. And that's really how it used to go down. And we heard stories like this from Young Lord all day.
Yep.
Matter of fact, I'll give you a perfect example.
Yep.
Hypnotize. Young Lord is in the studio because Young Lord got credit on that Hypnotize beat because Young Lord kind of like spruced up the drums, added some extra shit to it. Young Lord specifically told us he was in the studio one day when they were recording. Hypnotize was already recorded. They were mixing it. And they're going crazy like, nah, it needs something else. It needs something else. So Puff is mad that he can't put what he wants to hear, like what he hears in the beat, he don't know how to do it because not only does he not know how to use the equipment, he don't play nothing or no, he don't know how to sing.
Right.
So he's like, I need somebody in here right now. Young Lord happened to just put his hand up. Do it. That's why Young Lord got his credit on that Hypnotize because he just ended up being in the right place at the right time.
Right time. Yep.
Yeah, add some shit. And then as he's adding it, Puff is like, nah, not like this. I want to hear it like this. And then eventually, when it gets to the point where it likes, you know, Puff likes the way it sounds, it's like, all right, that's what I want. But then Puff, no matter what, is getting a co-produced on that. But he ain't do a motherfucking thing on the beat. You know what I'm saying? That's how it used to go back in the days. I don't know what back in the days, that was how it goes. You come in,
it's true.
take the beat, nigga, take your sample, do your shit over.
Yep.
Put you down as co-produced, put his name down as produced, he get the majority of the bread and you get half of it. Me and Rice were in that situation with Ty Fife a bunch of times. Ty Fife, who could make a beat, I'm not gonna sit here and knock like he can't make a beat, but he would hear our beat and he would be like, yeah, that shit is hot. All right, bring that to my crib.
Yep.
We would go to his crib, he would say, all right, bring the beat. We load up the beat and he would kind of like do the beat over and shit like that. A lot of times the beat that we had originally sounded better than the one that
and that was kind of like the downfall of us with him at that time.
Right. That's why we stopped fucking with Fight. And then he would give us co-produced. At least Ty, I tell you one thing.
But that's what I was gonna say.
He tell you straight up, nigga, I'm gonna give you 4 G's.
I'm gonna sell this shit for 20.
I'm gonna sell it for 20, but I'm gonna give you 4. But don't do this a couple times, and then it'll be your turn.
Exactly, it'll be your turn to do it.
And that's kind of at the point where me and Rice was like, I don't want to do this shit no more. And that's what it was. I was like, I don't want to do this shit no more because I used to be in there probably more so than Rice. I'd be frustrated than a motherfucker in there like,
I can't play the game. I can play the game.
Nah, I couldn't play the game. I'm like, nah, I should sound better than that. And Rice used to be like, nah, man. I'm like, fuck it. How much longer we got to do this bullshit? You know what I'm saying? And then we kind of branched off and said, we're not doing, after Top 5, we collectively, between the two of us said, we're not doing this shit no more. And that's what
I still remember the day it was the Madonna sample. It was the Madonna sample that I did that one. And then we left after we got the check. We was driving home and Bar was driving us home.
Bar was
our manager.
At the time.
Yeah, at the time. And I told him, I said, and then I said, I don't think we should do this anymore. And then Bar was like, you know what? I think we need to spread our wings and do it on our own. And from there, we tried to do it on our own.
Because Bar even had to admit, he said, y'all beat sounded better than the one that I had. Mm-hmm. And at that day, and we was used to be telling Bar, like, Bar, come on. And Bar was like, you know what, y'all right. And Bar Ty's like right-hand man. But he couldn't deny it after a point. It was like, nah, he right. This shit sound better. Like, why am I going to sit here and keep perpetrating? Like, you know what I mean? But it was one of the things where it was like, everybody would tell us. Young Lil would say to us, this is what you got to do to get on. Top 5 would tell us the same thing. What you got to do.
But Top 5 told us. Teddy Riley did it to me. So
I'm doing it to y'all. And I'll do it to the next niggas coming up after y'all. Pretty much what they told us. You know what I mean?
D-Dot did it to Kanye, right?
D-Dot did it. It was happening all over.
It was all over, especially that camp. That camp was running rampant.
Yeah, it was all over. And we, trust me, we done been through it. You know, Rough Riders, niggas, a lot of niggas came at us on some old, let me get that beat. How much y'all want for that beat? You like, how much I want for it? But you're a producer. Why do you want to buy my beat? Because they want to buy your shit, probably twinkle it, sprinkle it up.
Bit, chop it up.
On it.
Yeah.
That was the game. That was the game, dog.
Wow. That's crazy, son.
Game.
But yo, let's get into it, Sha. I'm ready, man.
So I got one more. Let me ask them. So, in previous episodes, me and Rob was talking about underrated MCs, right? Like just MCs that never get their credit. They just do. I'm gonna ask both of y'all. Give me an underrated producer.
And have you worked with them?
And that they don't get their just due.
Underrated.
Damn, that was hard one. Underrated producer.
Because I can't really say that. I would say Alchemist, but I don't think Alchemist is
not underrated.
Not in the underground.
I got one.
Not in the underground world.
I got one for you.
From a mainstream perspective, though, Alchemist I think is underrated.
Underrated, yes, sir.
But at the
I
same
agree.
time, Alchemist got hits. You know what I'm saying? He got hits.
He got hits.
He got hits.
That's true. You're right.
I'll give you an underrated one. Ayatollah.
I like Ayatollah.
Ayatollah, yeah.
I like Ayatollah.
Like Miss Fat Booty. If you're going back to like Miss
I'm going back to Miss Fat Booty. I'm going back up. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. But if we're looking at the catalog, though, would you say that Ayatollah is underrated from his catalog? I wouldn't say his catalog is underrated. Everybody know Miss Fat Booty, right? Most def Miss Fat Booty, but niggas probably don't know that Ayatollah produced Miss Fat Booty.
Yeah.
Is his catalog underrated? I don't know if his catalog is underrated, but from a mainstream perspective,
remember he did My Life too.
He did My Life too. But from a mainstream perspective, you probably could say that Alchemist is underrated from a mainstream perspective. The underground true hip hop niggas know Alchemist.
Yeah.
From a mainstream, you know, it's not like Alchemist out there doing records for the littles, right? Little Boosie, little all these littles out there. You could say that he's underrated, you know, from that perspective.
The littles. Wasn't that a cartoon? The littles.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right? Little something, little something, little something. You know what I'm saying? I can say Alchemist, but there's a lot of producers out there that, you know, rocking some hard shit that niggas don't know about. You know what I'm saying? Like Derringer, you know, fucking with Griselda and all them. He's putting out crack. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of niggas out there that's putting out some crack. Cause I don't listen, I don't listen to the mainstream shit. I really don't. I don't listen to it.
You're wasting your time.
But at least for me, and Rob, you the same way because we came from that era, like the golden era.
Yeah.
You know,
my underrated producer is Madlib. I love Madlib, man. How he chops it and he brings it back, and he, you know, Madlib is the best, man.
That's a good one, Madlib. Yeah. I mean, you might even say No ID. You know, from to a
No ID, Ninth Wonder.
Knife, exactly.
Knife got some classics. No ID got a lot of common shit too. So
yeah,
Knife Wonder.
He got hits.
Most underrated producers that's probably out right now. Knife Wonder. That's crack. Crack. Yeah. And makes them shits right in front of you. Like I've seen videos of Knife Wonder. He's making that shit right in front of you, and a purist of the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a purist when it comes.
And he's a teacher of the game at that.
And he's a teacher of the game too. I think he teaches at I forgot which school.
One of them shits.
But he teaches how to make beats at a college, at an actual university, a college.
It's either Harvard or one of them shits. Yale.
It was so interesting to me to see when Ninth Wonder worked with Jay-Z. I was like, why Jay-Z got Ninth Wonder? Why would you ask him to just loop R. Kelly over and over? Yeah. You know, I mean, it was hot, but. You know, he could have went much further. He could have got better from Ninth Wonder.
He had it in his mind, like I want that. Like I've always heard it in my head that I could hear myself rhyming over that, and just kind of threw it to Ninth. But yeah, I agree. Ninth could have gave him something so much better than that.
Yeah,
Ninth Wonder. Yeah, he has crack all day.
Yeah. Now this album 20 for 20 is based on a theme, right? How'd you guys come up with the concept for this album 20 for 20?
Rice could take that.
I mean, for the most part, when it comes to these albums, I don't know. I see something, I like it. I know it was 2020, all right? Me and Pat was getting to this point where we're kind of getting disgusted with this game. Like we get to this point where we always get to these points where we get disgusted and we don't want to do it no more. So I was like, all right, it's 2020. But then I'm looking at that ESPN 30 for 30 concept. Right. And I'm like, this is kind of making more sense to me. 2020, you know, 20 for 20. I'll just change that. And then I already started recording songs from the Rebirth of the Cool album that we put out earlier this year in March. So I already had some songs that didn't make the Rebirth of the Cool album. So I was kind of like, you know, let's kind of like piggyback off of that and then let's record some more and just put 20 songs on the album and call it 20 for 20.
Which is a really good album, man. That album was a dope album. When I listen to y'all, honestly, and I'm going to just say it, when I listen to y'all make me go look for other shit y'all done. Like, if they did this, let me go see what else is going on.
And that's the way I try to go at it, you know?
And I'm like, wow, y'all guys is really putting in some good work, man. Congrats, man.
Congrats, thank you. And for the most part, you know what I'm saying? It's a testament to how we do and what we've been doing for 20 plus years, actually.
Absolutely.
We just want to put out good music, especially with artists that love doing what we do here, this hip hop thing. And we want to do it the right way. I don't care how old you are. You don't have to be young to do this shit. I'm 43. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be young to do this.
That's right,
so I just feel that we put a good body of work together. You might not hear us for a little while after this body of work comes out. So we want to give it to you in a different way, a different presentation. Like a good thing that
inspiration. That's what we looking for.
Definitely. No ideas original. Just really came up with a good idea to give y'all a virtual listening session and a Q&A for this album.
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, shout out to my nigga Normando Bates, my nigga.
I see him.
Yeah.
I see him.
I see you, boy.
So let's do it. Let's
see Indigo out there too. I see Indigo out there.
Oh, what's good?
Big Will. That's Big Will in the house too. Big Will. Pat Rice know Big Will. Big Will, show
ready,
your face.
Rachi?
Show your face.
For sure.
So let's get into the first track off the
Jay out there,
album.
Jay Hustle. I see you.
First track off the album, Raindrops on My Soul, featuring What a Mess. This right here might be like one of my favorite tracks on the album. Sample mean, beat go hard, the drums crazy.
Yeah,
So,
I like that too. All right, let's get to it.
Yeah, you ever looked at the stars and raise your hands up and scream for a motherfucking lane to open? And the beat sounded like cold killer, ice making in my veins. I switch lanes and fuck niggas, no audible. I'm rolling authentic nigga phenomenal. Magenic light speeds, I travel nigga unstoppable. Cold killers, the thumpings of cocaine. Hold digger, I dare you to take aim. Dollar signs on your head, I take blame. In old age, I died and went insane. It took years of practicing open shame. I don't give a fuck, I seen ghosts in the house. Came from Puerto Rico straight down to the dirty south. I banged out, left your face hanging out. I felt pain on my soul. At 10 years old, I seen a mother cut her own wrist. The blood stained the fish, now with demons in a sunbath. Catching gun blast, I'm walking on my turf. If I ever go broke, I'ma make them gross. Ski mask, make them jerk. What a mess, bit of verse and make it burst. Columbine, scope it out and make it worse. A million sparks disperse, you gonna need a nurse.
Oh, we can't get too much more of that one. We can't get too much more of that one.
Much. Yeah, that's a good.
Can't get too much more of that one.
Mean.
Too much more. You gotta get the album to listen to the rest of that.
Yeah, that's sample, boy. Yeah, when I heard the drums on that sample, I was like, yo, whew.
Yeah, that one.
That's a good way to start the album off. When did y'all record that? Y'all recorded that early in the process or later on?
What a Mess. I hit him up, I think a little bit after Rebirth. After Rebirth came out and told him about the idea. I was kind of a fan of his from some of the stuff that he has put out before with what I seen with Coco Reef and with Muggs on Drugs, a couple of other underground artists. So I hit him up, shot him over some beats. He shot it back to me literally probably a day or two. A couple of days he got that back to me and it was cracked. So I was like, yeah, man, appreciate it.
Yeah, I wonder why. He probably heard the beat and was inspired immediately.
I don't know, right? So I don't know what we in bulk beats or what we sending like.
With this particular project, I did send maybe I don't know 5 to 10 beats. I think it was the last album with Rebirth. We was kind of doing lesser beats send out. We was kind of dictating exactly which beat we wanted the particular artist to be on. I think we did that a little bit further down the line with 20 for 20. When we started getting to the end, I kind of was dictating more at the end, but not in the beginning. I still was sending out the bulk beats, maybe 5 to 10 beats a clip, a pack.
We make so many fucking beats.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next question. Like, I know your vote is like crazy.
It is like literally, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got beats. Shit, we've been making beats for.
I see you, Frankie Waffles. I see you there.
Over 20 years.
Yeah, and we got so many beats because here's the thing with us is like we got so many beats that are unused. You got a lot of niggas out there that make beats and then they be recycling their shit. We never did that. You see what I'm saying? Like,
let me tell you something.
Exactly. You'll never hear it again because we got so
that is a pet peeve of ours. I'm telling you that right now.
In their beats.
That is a pet peeve, yo.
Whether we like the song or not, nigga, you use that beat, that's your beat.
That's your beat.
That shit again.
Exactly. I don't give a fuck with that song. I don't care.
That says a lot to y'all creativity.
And I don't like that. Is a pet peeve, yo. If somebody uses the beat, it should never be used again by another artist.
It's done.
I don't care. It's done.
It's done.
Done. Unless you're freestyling on it or something, regular freestyle. But you should not be making another creation on it. Like, you know.
I don't hear no double up.
We come from that cloth, man.
Yeah, I don't
It's
do
a
that.
different cloth, man.
No double up on that shit. You never hear no double up on that shit for sure.
We ready? Let's get to track 2. Track 2 is Game Changers featuring Frankie Waffles. Shout out Frankie Waffles. I see you on.
Yeah, Frank, I see you out there driving, baby.
Let's
Keep
do
that
it.
mask on.
Another banger, baby.
Sometimes even the wise forfeit, your mind's forfeit. If you thinking your rhyme's gorgeous, I describe portrait. You fools, I got a reprimand. I'm tossing bars while you get the smoke from my second hand. Why you think I'm calm while I teach the lesson? Go Wessons, fam. I got the losers nervous. Coming with astronaut bars inspired by universes. Running my rap through the stars, admire the smoother verses. Some of the actions of God retire and choose your purpose. This what you get when you beef with the whole triad. Now we keeping your soul. There's plenty harder ways. You're being warned. You know I'm the one. Like Penny Hardaway, the famous torn because you'll be gone by any holiday. The more I spit, the more I'm shaking your crown. Frankie and Str8 Bangaz, game changers, laying it down. I'm hanging around. I'm humble, but I say with them rounds. Immaculate vocabulary, there's no picking my sound. The more I spit, the more I'm shaking your crown. Frankie and Str8 Bangaz, game changers, laying it down. I'm hanging around. I'm humble, but I say with them rounds. Immaculate vocabulary, there's no taking my sound. I'm the grenade.
That's all you get.
That's all we get. That's all we get.
That's all you get to that one. That's all.
Now, how many artists have y'all worked with? When I look through y'all catalog and I'm like, there's always a different name. It's like millions of guys y'all guys have worked with.
Too many to count. Honestly.
I can't remember everybody.
It's too many to count because I think one of the things that we pride ourselves on is variety. You know what I'm saying? And since we are purists of the game and we just love hip hop, we love just hearing different MCs.
Different sound. Right,
There's
right,
so many
That's
dope
right.
MCs out there, man, from all over. You
Talk
know,
about it.
all over. So we definitely try not to pigeonhole ourselves as far as we only want to listen to this artist or mess with this artist because there's just so many dope artists out there. And we try to showcase that on every one of our projects. Like on this one, Frankie Waffles, Jay Hustle, like, you know, to Indigo Phoenix. We got just so many. There's so many dope MCs out there.
Yeah.
So many of them. And for a producer, it's like a kid in the candy store, man.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Like all y'all can rhyme? Oh, I'm gonna have fun.
With the amount of beats that we make, for us to just flood every single one of them with 30, 40 beats. Yeah, pick one. You know what I'm saying? The only problem that we have is that sometimes we say pick one and they come back like, well, I picked 3, 4, 5, or 6.
Yeah.
Even that don't hurt.
Can we do an album now? Huh?
And that
It
don't
happens. It happens. It's not a problem. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
It's no problem.
So many beats. Like,
Nice.
yeah, go ahead. And it don't even hurt us because it's like, well, we got another. If we literally sat here and counted how many beats we actually have, like if I shared my iTunes screen with y'all, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's dope, man. It just goes to show the passion.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? 100
Passion you guys got, man.
Yeah.
solo, right? And Rice puts out more volume than I do. You know what I'm saying? He puts out way more volume of beats than I do because he would say I'm too picky. But literally, it's like put in my fucking Dropbox. Yeah, I put 8 beats in there in a day, and it's like 8, nigga. I got 2. Like, you know, like it just
Step it up, Pat.
The volume is ridiculous, man. The volume is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's go. Track number 3, BTMO, Be the Most Official, featuring Jay Hustle. What's up, Jay Hustle? We see you.
Actually, one of my favorite joints right here off the album.
Yeah, definitely. One of them joints right here, man.
Yeah. This is one of my favorite joints right here. So let's definitely get into that.
Joe, a regular cat that hustle extraordinaire. Anything you need, I get it to you from far there. Anyway, the fucking dog, the owner, be aware. One thing I learned from the grind, you gotta stay prepared. Down and out, they desert you. But when you up, watch for the scheme, they wanna hurt you. Put you in the box, but everything come full circle. A fast race, gotta keep the pace. Trick your mind, stretch your smile, now you joking face. No debate, they gon' have to wait. Just once I wave, I'ma flood with the straight bangs. We body shit first, then we take names. That boom bap rap bleed through my veins. So I write upon that flow from the heart. How I always got busy, and it's been that from the start. Nigga always got busy. They say the Lord forgive us, but never will forget. Nigga threw up the set the whole time. He was back to your most official. No need to hold my hand when this get to these bands, C or D or advance. Say the Lord forgive us, but never will forget. Nigga threw up the set the whole time. He was back to the most.
Shout out to J Hustle, man. Shout out to J Hustle on that.
Definitely shout out to J Hustle. Shout out to Indigo Phoenix. Shout out to that Triad, man.
On that one right there. He definitely went off on that one.
Yes.
Yeah,
How'd you link up with J Hustle?
I hooked up with J Hustle. Actually, I was already in connection with Indigo Phoenix, and that's one of the artists that she actually manages. But really, how it really hooked up was, I think it was like a tweet, not a tweet. It was actually an Instagram post that I had put up, and I had said something in an Instagram post like, I'm actually tired of giving out beats and then the artist doesn't use the beat. You know what I'm saying? Like they be holding on my beats. And I think he hit me back and was like, "You throw me some beats, I ain't gonna hold on to them." Right? So I said, "All right, I'm gonna throw you some beats then." And that's how that came about. And definitely a good solid relationship. We got something coming too, so definitely look out for that this year also. But definitely shout out to J Hustle, shout out to Indigo Phoenix, shout out to Frankie Waffles. Definitely shout out that Triad. Definitely the respect is there.
One of the few niggas that be putting hooks on their song.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Making it a song, right?
Fucking give me one verse shit and tell me to do something with it. Then I gotta go out there and fucking create all types of shit.
Put it together and shout out to the niggas out there that make hooks. I'm saying it. Fuck that. I'm saying it.
That's right.
Shout out to the niggas out there that put fucking hooks on their song.
That's right.
All right. Let's go. Track number 4, Birdie featuring Mickey Diamonds.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Str8 Bangaz Productions.
Yo.
Another banger, baby.
Diamond.
Yo, pussy.
192 time. Big umbrella shit. My nigga back work without gloves, he dropped dirty. My shooter warmed up before the game and dropped 30. Razor blade under my tongue, I'm like Birdie. Bomb ass niggas wanna flip, I'm not worried. We in a war zone. You get fly when the war's on. I rock a black Nike Tech Parker with the snub nose. And some phones, hoes, love those. Spilling rolls on my clothes till the club closed. My entire environment is a drug zone. No retirement, he 55 like Matumbo. Still supplying it, ripped apart like a gumbo. Jambalaya wrist, get twisted by the man with the iron fist. Designer kicks, my bitch in the kitchen frying fish. I'm spitting fire, see my name on the flyer. I need tickets for everybody that I'm riding with. Came with the stick like a violin. Steve Eiserman, toss you head first in the lion's den. They find you on time and running your spot when it's hot like a fireman. My town got a history of doing violent shit. You see how live it get. Renaissance city politics and young goons equipped with cannons like a pirate ship. Gotta strike a match to get the pilot lit. Ramen noodles for dinner, that kind of shit. Had these niggas doing all kind of shit. Whoa.
Mickey Diamond.
Mickey. Definitely.
What's up, man? Let me ask you guys, man. Primo, as you know, the big homie got a philosophy when he picks MCs and matching them with beats. Do y'all follow that same blueprint? Because the guys that I'm listening to, the people, their voices are very unique. I mean, they got this baritone or something just very, it's easier to carry, easier to listen.
You know what I learned in the 20 plus years that I think me and Pat has been making beats? And I think we are an acquired taste.
There you go.
I think not every artist can rhyme on a straight banger beat. We don't make beats like the norm. It's just that simple. And I think we had to learn that by trial and error, actually constantly trying to sell beats to artists when we was first coming up, and then always saying to ourselves, we listen to an artist's album per se and then say, wait a minute, we let them hear beats. We got better beats than that. But we're an acquired taste, and only certain MCs can actually rhyme on our beats, and I'm being honest.
And only certain niggas actually get it. You know?
Exactly, get what we do.
Right, they get it.
Especially the ones that write hooks, so you know.
But there really is a marriage between the producer and, you know what I'm saying, the MC. And
right. That goes back to our thing we talked about earlier, Pat.
Right, exactly.
You're in the studio, instead of me sending you an email.
Right. And I will say that, you know what I'm saying, because we're in this social media, this virtual world and all that other shit, you do find yourself in a lot of situations where you're sending a beat to the MC and the MC sending you back the verse. And then what I will say about me and Rice is that we don't just make beats. We are actual producers. And as dope as the song may sound, the way that we're putting it together now, you send me the verse, I put it together. I guarantee you, as dope as the song sounds, it would sound even doper if we were all in the studio at the same time. Yep. We've been doing it so long that just the energy vibing off of the MC with the producer, we all the time, me and Rice are like, you know what? Say that ad-lib like this, put this like this. I'm gonna put an echo like this. And we do a lot of that shit now when we actually go and mix the song. A lot of niggas that send us the song, by the time they hear the song, it sounds totally different. We done added all types of extra shit. But it's even that much better when we actually in the studio with the nigga at the same time to say, yo, you know, nah, you know what? See that part that you said right there? Double that shit up. Because when we mix it, we gonna put a fucking effect on just that ad-lib. Because it's different between niggas that just make beats and producers. We are legitimate straight up producers because we've been doing it so long, so I can hear something more. And me and Rice are so in tune that we be hearing the same shit. And he'll be like, you know what? I was thinking about, and I'm like, you know, I was gonna do the same exact shit, and it always sounds right, always. Without.
Nice. All right, let's get into the next track. Track number 5, James Bond featuring Rob Frank. What up, Norm? What up, Sellers? I see you.
Dog straight bangs. Let's go. Smoother than a secret agent. Making my getaway tires reaching the pavement. Eliminate a drunk with the stainless. I'd rather celebrate than to sell my soul off just to become famous. Frank on the banger beat. One of the illest with it. Ain't no debating me. Eyes on your lips. Better watch what you say to me. False advertising niggas ain't who they claim to be. Nah. But lately I've been in the days. I'm replaced by these bitch niggas' feminine ways. The real ones either die or get sent to the cage. They trying to kill the lions or so the kittens remain. Damn, but once the pen starts hitting the page, I deliver the rage. Leave the scene messy like buckshot sent from the gauge. Or a price so go on leaving the rest with a stain. One of the best in the game. Through the roughest of the rough, I remain calm. Hit the beat and explode like napalm. Complete the mission, then I'm out. Can't stay long. Super smooth with it like James Bond.
Shouts to Rob Frank, man.
Definitely. Rob Frank out there out in Brooklyn, baby.
Nice. So how'd y'all link up with him?
Same thing. You know me, I comb the internet for those underground artists and I find them. And I stumbled on his album. I bought it off Bandcamp because that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? I buy artist album. I don't scream it, nigga. I buy it. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? If you look at my Bandcamp account, I got so many artist album purchased on there, you know? So I listened to it. I liked it and I reached out and, you know, it don't take much. That's one thing me and Pat used to always say, like, if you give us a shot to let you hear some beats, I can guarantee you're going to like some.
It's undeniable, though.
Yeah, you're going to like some. So,
we've been in, it's been exactly like that.
Exactly. So, I reached out. He liked the beat. He did it and got it back to me. And there it is. We presenting it to you. So, definitely shout out to Rob Frank. Brooklyn, stand up.
All right. The next track off the album is actually one of the singles, right? Sing by Milano Constantine and Sky Zoo. How'd this come together?
This actually this is the main single off the album. This is actually like one of the last songs we recorded. Well, I always liked Milano Constantine. He had a song, Speak With a Feeling, back on DITC's old album. Somebody that I definitely liked the way he flowed, and I'm a big Sky Zoo fan, real big Sky Zoo fan.
Both of us.
Yeah, so I just reached out to them, and Milan got on the record first. Definitely shout out to Milano Constantine. Definitely BX stand up for that. And then I reached out to Sky Zoo, and he definitely said he was with it, and we made it happen. And Sky Zoo's a real dude, you know. So definitely Brooklyn stand up, and
yeah, I like Sky Zoo. I like him. Man.
And this was a beat. This is a beat actually that Pat had made. And I always liked this beat. So I had an idea. I was just like, I like this beat. It has to be a beat that we use for this album. Just didn't know who was gonna actually be on the beat at first. So we definitely got Milan on it first, and then we kind of went with Sky Zoo, and it turned out epic actually. I like the way it sounds. It came out great.
Late night.
Let's get into it.
What the fuck is going on? Let's see.
Str8 Bangaz Productions.
Sing till you reach the
Worldwide. Yeah. Mulatto Constantine. Yeah. I'm rhyming with my heart out. Fly nigga in the Argyle, they biting our style. See it on me, nigga, star child. Caught a glimpse of the sun through the dark clouds. Rooms in the Carlisle. Top floor, burning the midnight oil. My winds might annoy you. King shit, the kiss tight royal. Heir to the throne, just carry on. Pink caddy like a magic wand. It's Constantine, you can't ask for more. My nigga selling Macklemore. Got him shackled, thrown in back of the floor. Tactical force, smashing the door. What's happening, Lord? Sometimes the path is lonely. I had status in the Patagonia. My bitch bad like Apollonia. My track so harmonious. It's only us, me and Str8 Bangaz. Speak that wide body Lex language. Dollars with the rectangle. See me tech mangle niggas. That's the streets today. Illegal ways, throwing the Valentino shit.
Mary J, my life, the rapture of Anita. From where they sing you harmonies by backing out the heaters. La do da, all for the slabs that got you high. Real love, you step on the glass, mazel tov. Sing till the door swing open, nothing more or less. Hennessy in memory of, you let them pour the rest. Burying the shit that you should have been blowing notes for. Waiting for a plug to connect it, it's like the boat's lost. All the shit that you hope for, seeing visions and co-stars. Two-tone like Olaf's dreams, big as a coat war. So on and so on, more to put your dough on. Investing in you and you, corner telling you hold on, right? Stronger than pride, shot day I do. Back on your latest you, promise you made to you to make it through. And through whatever was thrown, all that was known was no one ever could have been better over that metronome. Real shit, right? Yeah, sing the song, sing the song.
I had to let niggas hit a beat a little bit, let that ride out at the end.
Yeah, definitely.
You was digging in some crates for that sample, huh?
Let me tell you, well, you know what?
Look at his face. His face was in this. I seen his face like
Again,
that was the joint right there. Speaking of digging in the crates, because it's digging in the crates.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's digging in YouTube. Back in the days, it was you digging in the crates.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like I could have been digging in the crates, or I could have been digging through YouTube because everything is on fucking YouTube. You know what I mean?
Show of digging in the crates. Being that I'm talking about digging in the crates, got that show called what, Beat by the Minute or something like that.
Yeah,
we rocked on there. We rocked
on there.
How was that? Give us the experience about that.
It was dope, man. I think it was you know, the time me and Rice did it, we went over to DITC Studios. You know, shouts to Drawzilla.
Yeah,
all that Beat by the Minute thing together, and then what he does is he has like a guest MC or a guest producer. And that day happened to be the guest producer was Young Lord.
Exactly.
Oh, wow, there you go. Young Lord connection.
We didn't know, but we ain't seen him in years. You know,
we ain't seen him in years, man.
It was a bunch of dudes just in there kind of just vibing. And, you know, I really just love that whole just like organic, just niggas just vibing off each other. It was MCs in there. It was just a real dope feeling. And then really what the best part of it is, a lot of niggas out here be talking like, yeah, I make beats, yeah, I rhyme. But y'all niggas is scared to let the masses hear y'all shit. You know what I mean?
The best, my shit bang like a gangster that was throwing up sets. Posted like a king, I do my thing, bitches love it. Go to work hard, had a later pipe like construction is the heat. I see the light after I bust it, never fear the lady karma, cause I'm coming with that rough shit.
Shouts to Mesquite.
Yeah, that was dope right there.
Lean, baby.
Delaware. End up.
What I liked about that, man, I like the sound of that. Like y'all guys, y'all still had a boom bap. Y'all are Bronx kids to your fucking hearts.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? Just hearing that in there was like, yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah, to the death. But still able to, you know, I think adapt. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't never gonna hear no trap shit coming from us because that's how we do. I'm not knocking niggas that do it. It's just that.
Nah. Yeah, I get you. Stay in your lane, man. You won't crash.
Stay in our lane, exactly. We stay.
That's it, man. Now let's select the intro.
Yeah.
You want to play the intro? Let's play the intro.
Let's play that.
Do it.
Intel Selector, baby.
Let's do it. I'm back, man. The God's back again. Ain't heard of me? Well, shit, then ask a friend. We pull up in the Madden Benz, and I got my zone behind the land. Straight balls moves, don't cost you to talk to me. I don't do shit for free. Everybody that lost me feels so incomplete. It done know me, God chose me. Bitch need that extra rose and the queen by my side that ain't trying to get no alimony. All praise is due to me. Never kept it less than G. Even when I'm down and out, niggas still can't fuck with me. Unmatched, pop strap, blow all your shit back. Got clown back in the day and now they pockets what I laugh at. I'll never fold, sell my soul, change up for a slice of dough. My journey just begun, it's like the greatest story ever told. No schism, purpose driven, blessed with a handsome image. People steady watching, mad as fuck that I'm truly gifted. Rap fanatic, chasing your dreams like son, I gotta have it. Lazy nigga, I don't feel bad, you fine just being average. Whether it's cooking beats.
Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling Rice, like, after listening to like all the previous projects, and I've known y'all for like over 20 years now, but I've seen you guys' production kind of evolve. Like, you know, like the last couple of projects, I hear like a lot of heavy samples and flips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I appreciate,
it.
one of the things I appreciate is like also like you guys have taken like some samples as popular samples and put your own spin on it. And to me, that's dope, because, you know, a lot of times with you know, when somebody has already used a sample, you get kind of boxed in, and that's the only way you can hear it. But I've seen a lot of flips you guys have done.
And it's funny because when me and Pat go through that all the time, like let's say Pat find a sample or I find a sample, we'll go, since we know who made the beat, we'll say, oh yeah, you found that joint? Yeah, I found that joint Alchemist made. And then I might be like, nah, leave that alone. Alchemist rock that. Leave that alone.
I don't need to touch that one.
But then we might find a beat that another producer made and be like, you know what, he ain't really rock it like that.
Right.
So I'm gonna go at it. We're gonna go at it and see.
Well, there was another part of the sample that I heard.
Oh yeah, you know?
He ain't really fuck with. You know,
he ain't get on it like that.
Well, I'm gonna slow it down. His shit was kind of fast. I'm gonna slow my shit down.
But it's a producer unwritten rule. It's there. You know what I'm saying? It's a producer unwritten rule. You hear a sample and a nigga rocked it already, you leave it alone. You don't touch it. But if a nigga ain't rocking like that, or if it ain't been like really, you know, then you could
touch it in a while, or if it ain't been touched in a while.
Oh yeah, there's time too. That's another thing. That's time. If it's been 10 years, then you can fuck with it.
But there's certain things that it don't matter how. Certain things are timeless. That if you find, you just like, I ain't touching that.
Yeah, you can't touch that.
Like,
you just don't
like
touch that.
rock joint, right? Like if you found Troy. Nigga,
if you find Troy, just don't touch it.
Leave that alone. You don't
can't outdo that.
Exactly.
No, there's nothing you could do. You know, even if you could, I don't want to hit. You know what I mean? That you're doing a remake of that song. You know what I mean? Like Lupe Fiasco did Troy, right? He did
exactly.
Troy. And he had niggas playing this shit over live with the horns and everything. All right, that's dope. But don't try to do no flip to it at night. There's just no flip to it.
Yeah, don't chop that. Chop yourself off.
And there's certain samples out there that we done that niggas, other producers, just leave that shit alone. You just can't do it.
Let's get into track number 9. Track number 9 is The Cook Up featuring Josiah the Gift.
Shout out to Josiah the Gift too, because this one right here is mean. I love this song right here.
Str8 Bangaz Productions. Another banger, baby.
Cook. I decided to give them the prophecy. And props to me, the idolaters tried to overlook the message, so I invaded kingdoms, my army overtook it. This rap shit, I'm about to rule as I'm Iron Fist. Book
received, I giveth, I took it. Bible grammar besides the hammer, the footwork like strides of a gamma stepping. What's the point of having power while inside of a slammer? Shit was stripped when they snatch your freedom. I need some retribution in America before I'm just pledging allegiance. Compensation you paying for grievance. Reparation for every bullet that's stopping a nigga from breathing or gaining a profit from corner pieces. Summarize my introduction, constructed writtens, give rhythm thesis. A southerner hustler, went for the juggler, told the government these onions turn pedal bison and new caprices. Satan delivered us into Jesus, a killer's strategist. Turn water hit me for the ratchet whenever needed. For sand and I sold it to the beaches. Ultimate hustler, Damon Dash and Broquette sneakers. Flickering light, giving out seizures. Hard work, victorious leisure. Unsupported by what's considered elite. But my story applauded in features featuring the gifted. I'm the future that's presently deeper than the shallow messages that's running concurrent through speakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why I made up, I asked you guys about the sample flip because I remember the first time I heard that sample, Mary J. Blige and Neo both had it.
I'm about to say,
at the same time.
Neo ain't need that beat, son. Y'all did that justice.
Yeah, the same time.
Mary shit was dope though, cause I remember this
Yeah.
song. I fuck with Mary and this, and I'm more R&B nigga than Rice is. So I remember when I heard it, and then Rice made the beat, and I remember he sent the shit to me, and I'm like, damn, that's that Mary joint. But then he just took the drums out of it and it just made it real like dirty sounding. I'm like, damn. And sometimes I was a little mad too, like them. I wish I found shit. But he found it, but it was dope. It was dope. Definitely. I love that song.
Yeah, he chopped that up. That was nice.
But it just goes to show the difference in like how a producer actually hears a sample, because Mary J's was over 100 beats per minute, probably.
Absolutely.
Right? And Neo's was probably maybe even slower than the tempo you guys joint.
Yeah,
like when I heard Neo's joint, I was like, damn.
Everybody, man. Everybody. That's the part about producing you can't teach. I could teach you how to use the machine, but I can't teach you how to hear what I hear because everybody hear different shit.
Yep.
That's true. That's what's up.
It's a mean sample. That was a good find, Rice.
You dug for that one, brother.
Yeah. Let's get into track number 10. Track number 10 is Judas Flip featuring G-Fan Black.
G-Fan Black, shout out.
G-Fan Black.
Str8 Bangaz Productions. Another banger, baby.
It's like the sign of the times that niggas living in. Got me second guessing any nigga you consider friend. Supposed to be down to the end. But then again, even truth flipped on Jesus for that bag of bread. It's like the sign of the times that niggas living in. Got me second guessing any nigga you consider friend. Supposed to be down to the end. But then again, even truth flipped on Jesus for that bag of bread. Gotta keep your third eye open during these trying times. They leave you out to dry, you're drowning in the rising tide. Never leave the charge, bagging niggas out behind. I'll single file blast on them from the firing lines. Wake up and smell the roses, sucker. Rise and shine. Jealous ones empty, that's the human mind design. Cement shoes, body sinking, soul flying high. You see your loved ones walk toward the shining light. The snitching rate high, higher than it ever been. Make my blood boil, running with adrenaline. Shit worse than homeless veterans on heroin. Fucked up, no haircut, beard like Dave Letterman.
Shouts to G-Fan Black, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, when I first heard that, I'm like, yo, he got kind of like that gruff party arty voice.
Yeah.
Man, he said party arty. Shout, rest in peace.
Rest in peace,
Party
party arty.
yeah.
Party arty.
Party, man. Party
Definitely.
arty. Talk about underrated.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite battles to watch to this day. Party arty versus Murder Mook.
Yeah, party arty. A lot. You know what?
The first time I met 80 said, yo, master, you can write a song. Write one with me. I was like, no, I can't do that shit. So
If you don't know, if niggas don't know about party arty, man, like niggas need to go do it. Yeah. Go look at.
You ain't from the Bronx, my nigga. No hip hop.
P80. Ooh, boy, party arty.
P80.
P80.
Harlem, for sure.
All right, so we reaching the second half of the 20 and 20.
Definitely.
Here we go with number 11. Stay a While featuring Norm Regular.
Definitely Norm Regular, Baltimore Stand Up.
Yeah, this is a different twist on the album right here. You know, everything can't be hardcore.
Str8 Bangaz Productions. Another banger, baby.
Making plans out the palm of my hands to grab eternity. Fuck time, punch the punchlines and reverse the beat. Murder me, then you tapped in. Hit your neighborhood twice, time to move back then. Move fast then, your arms when you reach. Then I walk way on speed, but it's always hard to leave, baby. You got what I need, believe you got my soul. Watch you pop a lava load on your model shit. Loving how it fit, let it go. I peeped your part and peeped you off and couldn't keep me off it. The weekend gone and I was caught up in your power portion. Just wishing you would stay a little longer. Marijuana keep me calm until I'm with you. But ain't nothing better than the time when the sun ain't worried about a thing at all. Got my eyes on your butt. Hard finding this trust, but I'm grateful as fuck. Point me in the right direction, girl. I'm wiping you up. This life shit is tough. Know I got you, never let up. Catching W's together and the weather with blunts. For the time being, shorty, take your mind off the clock. I'm trying to do this shit forever. Wasting time, just stop. I'm on a mission, pay attention, baby, loving and rock. Kick it with me for a minute, let me live in this spot. I feel the energy you sending me, you staying a knot. What? What's up?
No, I'm regular.
Definitely.
No, I'm regular.
How was it working with that dude?
Actually, another one of the artists that I was out there looking at. Actually, like I said, I buy albums, and I bought his album.
And you said A&R on the low, son. You just out there searching, bro.
Yeah, you know, and you know what I always liked about him? I just liked his old vibe, his old hip hop vibe, the way he actually his LL type of thing, and he had this record that I liked, and I sent him a couple of records, and he picked that beat there, and he came back with that record. It was called Stay a While, and I actually liked it. I liked the hook. I liked everything about it. So.
Right.
It was just one of those things. Shout out to Norm Regular.
Well, I know y'all smart guys, man, and I know y'all are not too far removed from working with other artists outside of hip hop, maybe R&B, pop, whatever. Are y'all too removed from that, or y'all work with just anybody that shows up?
Anybody that shows up.
Anybody that shows up. I don't care who you are. I mean, but you know, we definitely are not pressed to work with anybody.
Right.
I don't want you to get confused. Like.
That's right.
Like,
if you whack, we ain't fucking with you.
Period. Yes. Get out of here.
Whack, we ain't fucking with you.
Get out of here. And that's it.
We don't have a preference. We really know. If we think you dope,
exactly,
and you can make a marriage between a straight banger beat and what you bring, then that's all that matters for us. Really, honestly.
Yeah. Does there a science to it, or a way y'all go into when picking a single?
Just where it hits us. I think it really.
Yeah, it's how I feel.
And you know, the next song that's coming up, you know, the LRNX joint.
This is definitely the second single off the album.
It was the second single off the album, and I think not only is it a dope song, but it was just like a chance for us to show our versatility. Up in the point, niggas know us for that boom bap hardcore shit, which is what we do. But then we also, you know, we have another side to where we can do a lot. We're very versatile when it comes to
right.
That's what we really wanted to showcase on this next record, which is why we picked it as the next single, or the side B of the single. So you got the Sing, which is the side A, and if this would be the side B, it would be the Ride Out with LRNX.
Nice.
So let's get into that.
Get into that, baby.
Another banger, baby. Baby, I just need your touch. You know I love so much.
Girl, I hope you're ready to go, cause I'm outside. I told you I was right up the way. Don't forget to pack that overnight bag. You the shit for me that's over my head. You the bottom to my foundation, you the G-O-E-T. Every time a nigga fell on his face, every time a real nigga had a bad day, you don't even wanna see you never go away. And every day, girl, you pray for me, stay down for me, took another round for me, oh yeah. So when the morning comes, girl, I top your morning off. Let me be your morning star, yeah. Baby, let your head off. We about to ride out in the sunset through some meadows, yeah. We gon' for sure ride out. Let's ride out to this. Let's ride, let's ride, let's ride. Let's ride out to this, yeah. Let's ride, let's ride, let's ride. Oh yeah, let's ride out to this, yeah. Let's ride, let's ride, let's ride. Oh, let's ride out to this. Let's ride out to
Baby, let me show you much. You know I love you so much.
oh, you such a pro, not new to the show. You know that it's hard time, we glued to the show. Now, baby, you know that it's show time. Like it's 2 to the 4 already. We back to back like we 24. Oh my, that right there, yeah, that's mine, that's mine. You stir up commotion, oh my. No way, I won't leave. Being you is how it's supposed to be. And every day, girl, you pray for me, stay down for me, took another round for me, oh yeah. So when the morning comes, girl, I top your morning off. Let me be your morning, baby, let your head out. We about to ride out in the sunset through some meadows, yeah. We gon' put you right out. Let's ride out to this. Let's ride, let's ride, let's ride. Let's ride out to this. Yeah. Let's ride, let's ride, let's ride. Oh yeah, let's ride out to this. Yeah. Let's ride, let's ride, let's ride. Oh, let's ride out to this. Let's ride out to yeah. Girl, you become my best friend. I don't know how well I've been without you by my side. Girl, you got me in the deep end, the deep end. You want me going deep end. Got me going deep end. Oh, you got me going deep end.
Woo!
Yeah.
Definitely different. Definitely out of the box. Not what I expected, man.
Sure, for sure.
A definitely good sounding song, man. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
How was it working on that?
You know what? I think it was dope because and I gotta give a shouts to LRNX because a lot of the harmonies and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying, when it broke down towards the end, he added that. So that would be the one joint that he gets you know, it was definitely co-produced, you know what I'm saying, produced by Str8 Bangaz, co-produced by LRNX. But I think it was dope because you know what, he took it in a totally different direction than we thought it was gonna go. Obviously we knew it was an R&B joint, but then when he like put that little like neo spin on it, it was like, man, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? It was dope. So we definitely were on base with that. So yeah, it was dope.
That's what's up. Let's hit track 13, Do the Work, featuring Iron Lungs and Blue Frogs.
Lungsy.
Definitely.
Straight know what the fuck it is. Straight Bangaz, Lungsy. Venomous vipers with intentions of biting niggas line, just trying to blend with the tigers. It's a fucking jump sound. Talking cheap but non fucking mumble. What is humble? I don't want too fucking hard to crumble. Illa tracks and killer wax, but I'm killing you hitting garbage crumble. My shit the loudest. You call Funkle and Simon, the sound of silence. I keep the peace when I'm around the violence. The youngest wildin' out, we just surviving. God used to hearing guns and sirens. I can take you on a trip, fucked up as I've been. I crush the line, the rush is timeless. Dope shit, fuck your mind up. Stop 10 in case you need a reminder. We had it grind up, pockets were slow, we had it shine, bruh. I had the bars, all it took was time though. Cash coming in fast though, I'm sipping wine slow. Fire blowing, I'm a blowing time. I had to grind for it whole time. Fickle now, I'm plain old sick of hell. Same whole nigga shop, the same dough trickle down. Came for it all, I can't change now. Simple, I don't get what I deserve. I do the work. The heat iron out the wrinkles on your shirt. I do the work. I do the work.
Woo! Iron lungs, baby.
That's
Blue Bronx.
Yeah, that's hard.
Nice.
That's
Nice.
hard. My shit.
Yo, the next track that that you guys got coming up, if people haven't had an opportunity to hear the full project that y'all put together for this brother, I strongly recommend it. Like, it's some fire on that album also.
Definitely. Shout out to Bunky SA.
Bunky was
Shot of My Life. We put that out a few years ago.
Mhm.
Definitely like one of our best projects that we have done to date.
and that was the reintroduction. That was actually the reintroduction shot of my life when we actually started going hard again.
Yeah.
The visuals, the video, the visuals,
Yeah.
everything was like, yo, that was well
Dope.
packaged.
Dope
Definitely.
album, for sure.
Definitely one of my favorites out of all the projects that we've worked on.
For sure.
And Bunky's just a great friend, you know, somebody that I can call a friend, you know,
Absolutely.
and a dope MC actually. So,
Mhm.
not just that. I've been in the studio with a lot of MCs, and you know, I seen some horrible things. You know, and I mean horrible things in the sense of you hear a 16 bars and a person can't even get through 2 bars without punching.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's bad. Like, but
Not
I could attest to Bunky SA. We was in the studio recording these songs, and I seen him 6 or 7 songs in a day. You know what I'm saying? And just running through these songs.
And Shannon, you know what? To your point, and Rob, to the same thing. And I think that's why to date, this is one of the best albums I think we've done, because we were actually in the studio building all 3 of us. You know what I'm saying? And that's why this album came out the way it did. If you go back and listen to that Shot of My Life album, the whole album is crap.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to it. This is Touchdown, Bunky SA. Bunky, what's good, baby?
Welcome home, my nigga. Gotta be on top of that parole shit. Yeah. Welcome back, big homie. We thought we lost you. The world different now. It's credit scams and lawsuits. Some bitches out here trying to get it, man. They all loose. Capping like they trapped in the field, but never wore boots. It's a tough transition. You on a mission now. At parole play foul, they trying to sit him down. Ducking and weaving, shucking and jiving. Never had a license, like fucking he driving. Went to jail in 06 with his BlackBerry boost. Caught him making sales on camera, he trapped very loose. Tend to change right back like he ain't missed nothing. And they still let the stick off. Homie, eclipse something. Institutionalized. It's hard to see the truth through the lies. Illuminati shoot at your eyes. Now we back trying to better himself. One step at a time, slime, don't get ahead of yourself. Touchdown, you home now, just take it easy. You thought you could trust them, but they was fake and greasy. You thought you could count on them, had to count them out. Stupid face when you see him and be like, now I'm out.
Bunky.
Yeah. So another one of them samples that you heard, you know, you heard somebody else do it with a nice flip on it.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Rick Ross used that.
What was it? Rick Ross and John Legend?
John Legend. Yeah. I mean, I found it. You know, they did it all right. I'm not gonna say. I said, let me try it. Let me try it. And I you know, a little different spin on it. A little different spin.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So the next one that we got is, the next one we got the Revenge of the Truancy. So CIA, Revenge of the Truancy.
Oh yeah, definitely. ROT, Revenge of the Truancy, definitely CIA. This is actually number 15 on the album.
Yep.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites too.
Yeah, this is a good record.
Str8 Bangaz Productions. Another banger, baby.
Yeah, when I heard this shit, I was like, yo, this the one. This shit fire. Shit fire. Check me. These verses overload. Read the scripture to the codex, looking bold in tones. Approach with caution, girl, we skull and bones. Put on air, feeling lofty for the honeycomb. Benz motor got the twin turbos. Told my niggas we gon' eat like San Gennaro, so forever hold your peace if you ain't cutting the quiche. Do it for the East, the King's Club is what I'm cut from. They gon' cut the check and that's the same day we gon' run one. Talking out your neck, a Leo neck talking. I deal with niggas less often. These niggas playing offense. We only ever knew the defense. Shackled to the bench at the precinct. 2020 we big. I promised my mama that. Shooting steel tips. Hollow tip mushroom, the definition of pill shit. I done see some ill shit. Shit you couldn't deal with. Point blank. Plant the flag. Big body jag, now slide by the shifter. GNC and OE, that shit gon' get me lifted. We got close, she let me hit and then we drifted. That's the slow. Young boys do the drilling for the coke. If we villains, we concealing any hope. What you said? Young boys drilling for the coke. If we villains, we concealing any hope. Let's go.
ROT.
Yeah, that's one of my joints. I like that.
Yeah. They definitely from New York too, and definitely underrated underground artists. I picked up on them too, doing my scouring of this underground, and I stumbled on one of their projects, and I was like, wow, they got some shit, and I want to reach out, and I definitely did, and they came through. So salute to them, ROT.
Nice.
Moving on.
Right.
Moving on. Nova featuring Planet Asia.
All Hail
YT
and Flash is Clayton. Flash is Clayton from LA. All Hail YT is from definitely Delaware. And you know Planet Asia. Everybody know Asia from LA, baby.
I know Asia, man. Asia's my dude right there, man. I love that kid, man.
Just listen to the way the beat drops on this one, though. Just listen to the way the beat drops on this one.
Fried essentials, cayenne pepper, my hot tea, hibachi posse, cops clocking my Anunnaki kin folks. With no shame, no pain, no gain. Mashing for this money like homemade. Salmon croquettes, let my people go. Edomites can never capture. We came for the babies with no time to teach the old. Here comes the rapture, knowledge power. I got my flowers in the final hour, burning sour, reach your souls. To each his own. Quarantine, the beach is closed, bleach your clothes. I'm locked in the lab, completing features. This is my therapy, no theatrics, no delusions, no illusions, no scams or hat tricks. This is that shit. A shot of this would make you overdose and do a backflip like I rolled it on a pissy mattress. Expect this type of work the whole spring, the whole summer. Fuck a slice of the pie, I'm coming for the whole thing. Oh shit, won't even hold you, I'm pulling no strings, no strings. All hell, YT. Let's get it. Love. We untouchable.
Asia.
PA. Chain.
Definitely.
Chain for real.
Another one of my favorites off the album for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Next joint. It's called Temperature Fixed. QB Chalice. Chalice out of Queensbridge. One of the original Killer Kids. He used to be down with Ron Artest, the Warriors.
QB.
Let's get into that one real quick.
Everybody a killer, everybody a gangster, man. So you check they fucking temperature, man. You know the vibes though, right? It's
long as you know what type of time we on. Say less. I don't rock with the phony. I don't fuck with pretenders. And that 40 be spilling ketchup. You mess with the letters. Real niggas' hearts is full of Kool-Aid. Planning the debtors only means these hospitals better extra the stretchers. He a killer, he a shooter. Yeah, fucking right. $2.50s, both sides. Better cut them twice. Rob me, take my chain. I want your fucking life. Yeah, your body on bags of ice. I did it for bragging rights. Right. Too much gun talk without nobody hit. Gotta face the board. Rico law, these niggas are probably snitch. Common sense. I be with the big tops. Y'all be on TikTok. Keys of coke and zip locks. Bum nigga, kick rocks. Keep talking greasy. I promise she gon' get fish hot. Money make it easy. Believe me. Be at your bitch spot. Smack her with the PlayStation. Sicker than the AIDS patient. Kicked off. Vacating. South Beach. Vacation. Pay the neighbors. Say Nathan. Lose the weight like waist training. Everybody a baller now. Tell them to show them bank statements. Every little threat you send, I'm looking for late placements. Focus on cake baking. Y'all making the fake pages. We run up on you for talking that shit. Yeah, almost died. Paramedics get bumping them quick.
Yeah, that's that real gritty New York.
Yeah.
You can check that temperature.
That's straight project music, boy.
Pissy hallway music.
Pissy hallways. Hell yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the next track, number 18 for hip hop, featuring Will Escargot and Preach the Writer.
Preach was good.
Yeah. Escargot.
I be that young dude that's wooing your moms. Take her on a date, buy her some Louis Vuitton. And I don't even have that kind of dough. We get to the store, I tell her to buy me notes. Maybe buy something nice up at the Walmart. Over there, damn, I look just like an all-star. First time like a Luka or Trey Young. I still got this love and yo, shout out to Pace One. Big tons, like my Russian friend Leah. If you a dickhead, yo, I wouldn't wanna be you. You know me, yo, I'm usually nice guy. If you wish me well, you can bet I'll do likewise. Hit up my guy Rails just for some combo, yo. You know we plotting, trying to buy up some condos. We over here ill, still trying to break in. Gotta take some L's before we can go take wins.
You know where it came from, know where it started, know who made it, who created it. Know about the Bronx, know about Cool Herc, know about Cedric Avenue, know about Bronx River, know about Bambaataa, know about, Grandmaster Caz.
Yeah, it's me. Let me talk to y'all for a second. Look, I've been going for.
Here we go.
After first.
Yep. After every time I hear that song, the first thing that pops in my head is the joint where tell her hit up Walmart. Yo, dude is wild.
Definitely bugging.
All right, what we got next, Rob?
We got 19 Warmongers featuring
Lace Swag and Hanzo Blades. Definitely big shout out to Hanzo Blades and Lace Swag.
How was it working with these guys?
Definitely Hanzo Blade. Shout out to him, another producer out there doing his thing. He's doing some work on a lot of projects. I see he's doing his thing. I sent him some beats, and he loved a couple of them actually. But this one right here, we put on our album here. So shout out to Hanzo Blaze, shout out to Lace Swag. Get into it, Warmongers.
Let's do it.
Hanzo, what up? Jersey kid had the one and honest. The Phoenix drive hard sight in the course of violence. In the wake only getting sick is the normal virus. Now my heart turns stone and my soul is onyx. At the bank with your love and it don't deposit. With a shake in the snub, leave the stolen wallets. Give me the dog down and drug habits is my only solace. Slum streets and hard kids, so when they load the virus, while it's good, they be on me, man. I said it, moving way through the older wars, so they calisthenic. Yeah, you talking to a G, it ain't alphabetic. All that mumbling, I'm muzzled and it's sympathetic. Don't walk around L till you found the medic. Fear rise when I beef it, ain't count genetics. Get your minds now, see it if you got the menace. That'll leave your roof red like a mountain Venice.
Step out of line and your body gotta get outlined. You must be dumb that you're blind if you tryna outshine. Don't be considered being spitters, it's just bounce lines. So when you go about face, that's when I go about mine. I could keep it humble or come at you with a fine mind. My hunger belly rumble, so I treat just like it's time. At the slaughterhouse, eating porterhouse by the cow's spine. Feed the horses mouth, just a small amount of some ground swine. Ever since a young and I was raised up on the run crime. My nigga.
The energy on that joint is
Picked up real quick.
It is coming with some shit on that.
The energy on that one is like massive. The way they come off on that one, like it just that's old school, like house party niggas in the middle of the floor kind of bumping each other, throwing niggas up against the wall and against the room. That's that type of shit right there.
Yeah.
So who's responsible for the name Str8 Bangaz?
Damn. I think I'm gonna have to take credit for that one. I think that was me.
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, being truthful.
Well, y'all named something else before then? You go through 1,000
names. It was first it was SA and Mr. Reed.
And then we was the Headbangers.
Right. And then Headbangers, we actually won the Underground Music Awards. We were actually the first winners of the Producers of the Year Underground Music Awards.
The very first.
You know what I'm saying? But that was under the Headbangers, and on top of that, they spelled the fucking name wrong.
Yep.
And at some point,
and shit.
Right. At some point, I think we actually went and got our own company. And
that's what it was. Once we got the company, and the company was called Str8 Bangaz Entertainment.
Right.
We were still the Headbangers, but then I think a little bit later on, we just said, let's just get rid of the
It was produced by the Headbangers for Str8 Bangaz
Entertainment. It was too much. It was just too much going on.
Right.
So we just said produced by Str8 Bangaz, and then we left the company alone, but then we opened up another company and called Bang to This.
Right. So now it's Str8 Bangaz for Bang to This Productions LLC. So now we just been Str8 Bangaz for the longest. You know what I mean? And a lot of niggas don't know how many of it. Is it 5 bangers? Is it 6 but 9? 2 of us Str8 Bangaz. But it's bigger than the 2 of us. You know.
Guys is monetizing out there. It's dope, man.
Yeah. For sure.
We wrap. It's the final one.
Yeah, we reached 20, number 20.
So
anything special about number 20? The last?
Well, number 20 is special just because my girl is on there, Indigo Phoenix.
Indigo, what up?
Shout out
to Indigo Phoenix. And this record right here is actually called The Silencer, featuring Motto, another artist that Indigo Phoenix has under her Rugged Triad label. Definitely there with Frankie Waffles and Jay Hustle. So we definitely on this album, we definitely made sure that we put them on here, get them out in that forefront. And this we're gonna play right now. We're just gonna get to it. We're gonna play the whole record. Let's play the whole record.
For sure.
I ain't even reached my pinnacle. Vision from the pineal to see the serpents and their tentacles. You just a spectacle. Every verse be electrical. Thoughts converting to energy. That's biochemical. Linking my bio. Get the motto collectibles. We eating no feast or festival. Love chemistry. You see the science coke get dissected too. Stick to the paper like Elmer's glue. Car zigzag when I'm driving through. Cooler than breeze out in Malibu. Think practical. Then strategize tactical. The music I construct be classical. Built by the corner, drugs sold on the avenue. They got an attitude. We on a higher altitude. Show gratitude. Every beat get barbecued. I got a lot to say. Can't wait for the interview.
I run with the squad of spitters that'll make you commit suicide. Kicking your door, force to fire to wherever you reside. The only way you gonna survive is with God on your side. I got the alkaline bars. You were the cancer that will not thrive. I took control in the doors by which you abide. Ain't nowhere safe for a tree to lock and load and ride. Purge on you just because I got the urge to reach you to the masses, obliterate you in front of anybody who hurts you. Make a bitch that flex like she hot, I feel like she got that. Been at my altar, bitch, because my bars are gospel. Both spells, I've been hitting it dead and I spit well. I'm ascended, side of here, Judas nigga who shit fell. Flash flags and shots all up in your solar plexus. My chakras aligned and now I'm so inclined to bang on devils. See, that's the grand design. I'm a classy type of ghetto, call it rugged refined. Knowledge on my mind, Nobody fucking with mine. I am my own keeper, the grim reaper, the street sleeper. Don't like the shit the hillbillies could all up in they beakers. Open up your speakers, I make your motherfuckers believers. Butcher from the gangs in New York, I grab the cleavers. Chop up the competition and bodying all the fever. Dead.
You know, the name of that song was perfect, man. Silencer, because it just silences the whole album. Like the rest of the album is just
Yeah, that's the outro. Yeah, that's the outro.
That's the outro, exactly. Because there ain't nothing else to after that.
There you have it. 20 for 20. We got a question in the chat room. I'm gonna open up the mic for
20 for 20, man. You know, Monday, CDs, cassettes, tapes,
vinyl,
20 for 20.
All that.
Man.
Let me open up the mic. We got a question from Ian C.
Let me see.
Ian, you can unmute your mic.
Sometimes you gotta tell niggas how to unmute their mic.
All right, yeah. No, I was asking if you worked with any artist in person that, you know, might have lived close by or visited NYC.
I didn't hear the last part of the question. He said work with any agencies that what?
Artists that might have lived close by or visited NYC.
Yeah, that you worked with in person for the album.
Oh.
Not on this particular one. I mean, Bunky is a close friend, still in the Bronx. I see Bunky here and there. So he's the closest. Most of the people that are on the album per se, we got it straight through email. You know, we send them a beat, they send us back their verses, and we'll put it together. But Bunky's like the only one that we was able to, you know, that we can see and do in the studio, you know.
Okay.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man.
It definitely, you got that diverse sound that I was speaking of, you know, on some of your previous work, especially the instrumental projects. You hear it.
Definitely good looking. We definitely try to do that with the instrumental projects. I try to give you a different sprinkle of different eras of when we were making beats. Actually, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to let you see the progression of how we got here. So if you listen to Evocative, if you listen to any of the MPC files, if you listen to the last one we just dropped, Phone Tap, it's total different.
Phone Tap, yeah.
Exactly, it's different phases in time actually.
Okay.
A lot of them are, I don't want to say it, but a lot of them are a lot of old beats. You know, it's not even recent. So it's just different phases in time that we try to give the audience.
And like Bryce said, it's really just to give an idea of the evolution of Str8 Bangaz, because, you know, when we first started out, and I was just joking with him the other day about this. I was like, you ain't put them first beats up there, nigga. The first joints that them shits were straight garbage.
Them young Lord beats. Before
that, Rob. Before that. First was learning and didn't know about metronomes and, you know what I'm saying?
Man,
drums wasn't even on beat. It was crazy. So I said, nigga, you want to do something? Put that shit out there.
The whole See where you go with that.
Man. So we got a couple of comments. Jay Hustle says, salute fellas, the LP is definitely powerful and motivating. Till next time, I'm copping on Monday. And then we got Galaxy S10 says that they have a comment. So let's open up the mic for Galaxy S10.
Imagine who that is.
That's Norm Bates.
Norm Bates.
That's Bates. I thought that was, sorry, Bates. I thought that might have been Bubs.
Come on, son. Come on, don't do me like that, baby.
I thought that was Bubs. I'm like, oh, here go Bubs.
Come on, man. Yo, salute everybody.
Mondo, what's good, Mondo?
Yo, real quick, I just want to tell y'all these Str8 Bangaz dudes is straight overrated. So I don't know what anybody talking about. Oh, fuck out of here. Y'all niggas don't. But, on a serious note, because we all brothers and we all grew up together. So
yes, sir.
I was there with them from the straight beginning, you know, like the SP12 and that first tape of the SP12, yo, was just crickets, bro. So on a serious note, I say that to say this, to see, I done seen them get jerked. I seen the frustration. I seen the hard work.
Right.
It's a dirty game, you know what I'm saying? But them dudes never quit. And to the hard work paying off and the respect due that they getting is I can't explain it. You know what I'm saying? These dudes, to me, are legends to me. You know what I'm saying? And as far as the it's more, it's so much to say, but it's more like, yo, to see it firsthand with them and to see the hard work paying off, I just got to salute my brothers on that, man. And I will say this, I ain't going to blow no producers up, man, but a lot of people out there need to be paying homage to these dudes, man.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not throwing no shade at anybody. Like, I just salute my brothers, man. Like, that's over 20 years of just hard work and
Hey, yo, Mondo, text those names to Bubs. Bubs will tell us. Let Bubs tell us.
He'll say all that shit, but Bubs can't be on here. He gonna be embarrassing everybody, man.
There you go. He right there. He right there.
But look, but seriously, yo, look at this guy. Look at this, yo. But on a serious note, man, I salute the podcast, man. Keep up the good work, Str8 Bangaz.
Thank you, brother.
Everybody forever, my brothers, man. I love to see people evolve and just keep up the good work, man, because that hard work definitely paid off, yo.
Same to you, too, man. I see you doing your thing, too, man.
Am I here?
Peace.
Yes. What you need, brother? Yes, you here.
Yeah, you're here.
I just want to know what does it mean. I'm gonna
you that mic.
Oh God.
Fix your mic. Fix your mic.
What mic?
Your mic is not. Can't hear you clearly, brother.
I don't know. I don't know how to do this.
You that.
We got to move on, Bubs. Thank you.
Yeah, I think he having issues with his mic. Do anybody else have any other questions?
Nah, I mean, like just kind of echoing what Norm was talking about. I've known these brothers before they was even thinking about music, and to see how far they've come and the things that they're doing, not just in music and in life, I'm extremely proud of both of them. Norm too, man. These brothers. The young brothers, they never got in no trouble, man. We had all sorts of temptations living in the hood. Never really dabbled in none of that. We kept it even kill. We played ball. We stayed out the way. And this is the product of it, man. So shout outs to y'all, man, for real.
Respect.
Yeah, no doubt. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Episode 11 of No Ideas Original. For those that, one other thing we should mention, for people who have been listening to the podcast rather than watching the visual on YouTube, the beat that you actually hear in the background is produced by Str8 Bangaz.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So good looking for that. We appreciate that. You can catch No Ideas Original on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeart, Stitcher, and now on YouTube.
Check us out.
Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Thank
Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Appreciate it.